They even got the black cows locked up, fam. Wish I could go over there and break them out. Man, even the blackbird did. Penn Medicine, IRS recognized 501c3 non-stock nonprofit, multi-million-dollar nonprofit. This is what we could build in the hood. We get organized. Peace, peace. I want to give you an update for those of you that's still going under the old stuff. When COVID-19 struck, it changed a lot of things. But one of the most important things you need to understand is it also changed the way your business credit operates. A lot of people is still using the old system. You have to update your mathematics, family. Now, I mean, you know, it's not just studying the math, it's using applied mathematics. Applied mathematics is different from merely knowing today's mathematics. You got to know yesterday's mathematics, today's mathematics, and tomorrow's mathematics, because the mathematics of yesterday will not be the mathematics of tomorrow, okay? God adds and multiplies. Satan divides and subtracts. All right, so under the old system, just a brief summary, I'm gonna just simplify it. Under the old system, it went like this. You get your LLC, your limited liability company, or you get your 501c3, your IRS recognized nonprofit, and you buy stuff, say from Uline and Quill and, you know, different stores, and they report it to Dun and Bradstreet. You get your gas cards, whatever way you was mathematically doing it. All of that is now out the window, all right? The 1%, I call them the 10%, the rich, but the 1%, as they're commonly known in this day and time, what they basically did was they peeped something. They peeped something about AI, artificial intelligence. They realized that the future of the planet, the future of the universe, is going to be operating primarily off of AI. Now, AI is going to come from the reptilian brain. It's going to come from the pineal gland, but the mathematics is going to be done through nanotechnology, unseen robots, and huge robots, okay? So that's the thing of the future. Most of it, we haven't seen it yet, but it's here. It's growing, you know what I mean? And the matrix is compiling data, you know what I mean? You know, everything that you think, everything that you do, everything that you eat. When you swipe a credit card, if you go to Wendy's, they want to know what burger did you order? What salad did you order? Are you a vegan? What is your blood pressure? What is your cholesterol level? What did your colonoscopy? What did your mammogram say? What is your health records? What is your everything? I mean, everything you could possibly think of, the computer is downloading all that, building your file, binary code, zeros and ones, ciphers and ones. Knowledge and the unknown factor, you know what I mean? So that's just the reality of what's going on. Now, rich people, and I'm not hating on rich people, I want poor people to get some of the rich money to balance all this stuff out. It's not about rich and poor, it's about balance, it's about my act. You know what I mean? It's about being able to, you want to have more money so that you can help more people. You see, you want to have more money so you don't have to worry about your bills. You can't help others unless you help yourself. Charity begins at home, then it spreads abroad, family. Now, I mean, so there's a system to it. It's a process. Now, I mean, you're not leaving anyone behind, but how can you possibly or pragmatically feed your brother or your sister and you're starving, your children starving, your mother's starving, your wife's starving? It don't add up. You wouldn't want them to do that for you. Your thing be like, yo, get you right, and now I mean, inshallah, Sakin, if it's the will of God, you'll be able to help me, and I'll be able to help somebody else, and they be able to help somebody else. And that's how we get this universe balanced out with my act, with freedom, justice, and equality. Peace and truth, family. All right, so back in February the 8th of 2019, a rich group of investors known as the Investor Group, they basically came in and they studied Dun and Bradstreet and what was happening. They seen small nonprofits jumping off all over the United States. Know what I mean? And it was hurting their bottom line. Know what I mean? We had like 400 videos. They took all 400. They swiped the slate, took all 400 on videos out. Get that stuff out of here. Get rid of him. Know what I mean? But I'm still here. Know what I mean? You know, it's not that they didn't kill me. I just resurrected myself. See what I'm saying? No weapon formed against me shall prevail. Know what I mean? So you just got to have faith. You keep moving. Know what I mean? You don't let the devil see you sweat. You make the devil sweat. You resist the devil, and he and she will flee from thee. Okay? So this group, known as the Investor Group, rich folks, they got paper. I ain't even gonna hold you. Know what I mean? They what we call wealth, black wealth, like Oprah Winfrey money, Jay-Z money, we pay more than that in taxes. That's chump change to them. All right. So this investor group, they seen that Dun and Bradstreet, like, why is all these people coming to y'all with this nonprofit stuff? And they basically like, well, look, they somebody teaching them stuff about how to do this nonprofit stuff and LLC stuff, and because of the social media, the age information, they jumping on board, and you got all these LLCs and nonprofit. They literally just skyrocketing in this day and time. Where in the past that was for like the Masons, the Shriners, the Illuminatis, the preachers, the mega churches. You know, in this day and time, the super PACs. You know what I mean? The rich politicians, but the average man and woman, you know what I mean, on the street, they start doing for self. They start making things happen. You know what I mean? So they like, oh man, they building business credit, and they qualifying for stuff that used to be exclusively for us. So now they learning the game. So they getting 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, a million, 10 million, 100 million. They building nonprofits all over the United States of America. I just came from one today. You know what I mean? Multi-million-dollar joint. You know what I mean? Penn Medical Center out here in Exton, PA. I mean, I just was walking around, just analyzing and checking, talking to the staff, and you know what I mean, seeing how that thing run, talking to the chief financial officer, see how that thing move. They making it happen. You can't hate the player, you got to hate the game. All right. So February 8th, 2019, this investment group, the investor group, they came in and they said, oh, so let me get this straight. Ever since the 1800s, I told y'all years ago in the video, they took the video down, but I told y'all years ago, I'm gonna tell y'all again, the movie Amistad, where the slave, the so-called slave, I call them a prisoner of war, the so-called slaves that overthrew the slave masters on the ship, and they wind up in court for the fighting for their own freedom. The white lawyer that represented them is the same in the movie. In real life, he represented them in real life, and he wasn't a racist white guy. He was the guy that started Dun and Bradstreet. And at that time, there was no social media, there was no technology like it is today. Pardon me. So, long story short, the technology allowed this corporation to become global. They literally compiled all this data. You know, your buying, your spending habits, your debts, your credits, your good, your bad, your ugly. You know what I mean? Your school, your medical, your religious, you name it. Your health, your car, your home, your marriage, your divorce, the birth, your deaths. All that information gets registered in systems, and all those systems reported to Dun and Bradstreet. So they got all this information that's over 100 years old, generations. So this investor group came in and said, listen, we want to buy y'all out. And they're like, you ain't buy us out. You know how old we is? We've been around since the 18th. We on board. We want to buy y'all out. Long story short, they bought them out. They took Dun and Bradstreet. They there is no more Dun and Bradstreet. I want you to understand that right now. There is no more Dun and Bradstreet. They took Dun and Bradstreet and turned it into what's called a privately held corporation or company. All right. So these few unknown rich folks, they took over all of your data. They got it. They already got it. It ain't like, nah, it's too late. There's cat out the bag, family. You know what I mean? You know, Pandora's box, but there's still hope. You know what I mean? But they got the information already. Now, they took and seen that most business owners, LLCs, limited liability companies, S Corps, B Corps, whatever, nonprofits, 501c3, on both sides, depended on Dun and Bradstreet to make things happen. So what they did, they said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to offer y'all a stake in our thing. They like the new drug dealers on the block. They said, like, you want to get in, you're going to have to buy from us. So now you have to buy stock with Dun and Bradstreet to do investments with the company. But if you're an LLC or a nonprofit, what they did was basically bought the name DNB, and they closed the company up, restructured it, made it a privately owned company, but they had so much money, they took and put that same initials back on the Wall Street ticker tape. All right, so the stock market still registers DNB. Don't let them fool you. It's not the same DNB that you're thinking of 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago. It's a totally different company. All right, this is the investment group that now owns DNB. They just own the initials DNB, and they're trading on the stock market as DNB because everybody is familiar with DNB. But most people buying the stock and investing is thinking that it's the old-fashioned DNB. Nah, it's a whole new entity, if you will. All right. Now, how do we get around this stuff? All right. When the federal government peeped the acquisition, they like, know what I mean? So that was back in 2019. So on April the 4th of 2022, the United States government stepped up. It's like, okay, we can't have our money messed up either, because, you know, a lot of Republicans and Democrats and independents own their own family businesses. I mean, they got stock all over the place. So they like, oh, wait a minute. You know what I mean? We're not going to let no monopoly jump off in this thing. So they took and came in and broke it down and said, this is what we're going to do. We're no longer going to recognize Dun and Bradstreet, because Dun and Bradstreet is no longer Dun and Bradstreet. It's really the investor group. But they're still using the initials DNB, which people think means Dun and Bradstreet. But the company Dun and Bradstreet is a bygone since 2019. So what the federal government did, that in my humble opinion, it helps. It's not perfect, but it definitely helps. It helps me. It helps you. It helps if you got a nonprofit, if you have a LLC. Shout out to Rebuilding You Incorporated. My beloved brother, you and your queen, all y'all do is just email me. I take care of this new stuff for y'all for free. So y'all ain't got, I don't want y'all to even worry about it. I got y'all on that. Now, I mean, short version. They came up with this concept called a UEI, Unique Entity Identifier. Unique Entity Identifier, UEI, April 4th, 2022. So the federal government stopped using the DUNS number when it came to things like getting money from the government, say getting an SBA loan, the Small Business Administration, doing, getting federal contracts for your nonprofit or your LLC, anything like that. They modified the mathematics. All right. So what you now have to do is this. One, I like to give people both sides of the coin. I want to tell you what I would do. I ain't gonna tell you what I would do. I'm gonna tell you what I already did. You want to go on Dun and Bradstreet and still register and get that number with them. But then you want to go to sam.gov. SAM, as I told y'all years ago, stands for System for Awards Management. Your SAM's number allows you to qualify for business or finances from the federal government. All right, so you want to get your UEI under the sams.gov. You could go on that website right now for free, sams.gov, register your company with sams.gov and request a unique entity identifier. All that's on the government's website, the UEI. Now, I mean, and one thing you want to keep in mind with this new system is when you get your number, you have to renew that number every 12 months, once a year, family. Don't forget that. See, sometimes people get lazy. They had a nonprofit, they had an LLC, but they feel as though I don't need to do all that. Now, what is it that you be like, what is the purpose of that? I'm not going to tell you what you could do. I'm going to tell you what other people are doing, all right? Now, if you want to know how to move, study the 10%. Study those that are already successful. What are some big nonprofits in the United States of America? You have places like the Red Cross. The Red Cross already has their UEI. All right, you had the Salvation Army. You had the YMCA. You know what I mean? You know, you have food banks and things of that nature there, you know, to feed the homeless people and whatever you're trying to mathematically do. I mean, SEPTA already has that UEI. Temple University already has, Penn Medical already has their UEI. The question is, if all these nonprofits that's getting 10 million, 100 million, a billion, billions every year have their UEI, and they not focused on Dun and Bradstreet no more, why are you still focusing on Dun and Bradstreet? Why you don't have your UEI? You got your nonprofit, you got your LLC, but you don't have your UEI. Your mathematics, that's yesterday's math, family. I want you to know today's mathematics. Today's mathematics, family. Study today's mathematics. Now, I mean, it's spiritual and it's literal. I mean, it's political and it's financial. It's cosmological and astronomical. It's genetical and historical. Mathematics don't lie. Know what I mean? So you want to build in the cipher, on the cipher, as the cipher. You want to show and prove. You want the kingdom come, thy will be done right here on earth as it is in heaven, family. Whether you go in the temple on the right or the temple on the left. Know what I mean? You want to come from the heart with your knowledge, your wisdom, and your understanding. You want to try to help people to help themselves. Now, they're going to try to make people like me, and there's others like me, that's trying to teach the people, help people to help themselves. They're going to try to make us look like we don't know what we're talking about. They're going to try to trick you into thinking that we're stupid. We're just making this stuff up. Know what I mean? But you have to ask yourself, know what I mean, why is they so focused on that? Why is that even important? I mean, like, if we're like, why would you pay attention to an ant under your feet? I mean, you know, it's like I'm not bothering you. I'm not talking radical stuff, or, you know what I mean, I'm talking about helping people help themselves. I'm talking unity, peace, truth, freedom, justice, equality. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not talking gossip, hip hop, racism, drugs, whatever. You know what I mean? Vice. I'm like, nah, I'm trying to, you know what I mean? I'm not coming like I'm the Pope. I'm not talking no holier than thou stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, call me brother. I mean, I don't care who you is, whether you're in the nation or not. Christian, Muslim, Jew, black, white, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, all that's irrelevant. I mean, it's us against the world. I mean, it's the 95% versus it's the no, it's the, I would say the 90% versus the 10%. In this day and time, we wouldn't say like, we would say it's the 99% versus the 1%. But it's not even like that, because in the 99%, we got a lot of enemies. In the 1%, we got a few friends. So you got to take and be able to analyze and judge people as people. Now, I mean, until they show you other, then you go ahead and put your defenses up or whatever. Now, I mean, but it's like right now, we have to get this thing in order. Now, I mean, the Fed raised the interest rate, inflation going through the roof. The dollar is all but dead right now, family. I mean, it's like these young boys out here, they look at the streets, it's like everything that Elijah Muhammad said thou should not do, they doing. I mean, and the 10% want to keep it like that. The 1% want it just like this. A lot of money in war. It's a lot of money in the war on drugs, the war on crime, the war on poverty, the war on racism. All is wars all over the planet Earth. Now, I mean, it's a lot of money being made off that stuff. But when you establish a humanity built on peace, there will be no need for money. So we're talking the long range goal, and they know that. So they're trying to stop that, because that thing is, listen, we need slave labor. We need the proletariat. We need the working class. We need poor people, middle class people, rich people, and wealthy people, so that they can fight and compete with each other, so we can make money off of this. If we have a system of common sense, a system of balance, now, I mean, if we lived in a world where we recycle everything, now, I mean, everything, now, I mean, if everything is organic, the planet just keep rejuvenate itself. So it's a thing where they don't want that kind of world. They want an artificial world. They want a world where when you throw your trash in the dumpster and they take it to the landfill, it'll take 1,000,000 years for that stuff to decompose, because it's chemically and man-made. Now, I mean, it's artificially made. It's not even of nature. Now, I mean, and because it's not of nature, it affects us. It gives us all kind of dis-ease. Now, I mean, so, we gotta battle, but a lot of people wonder, with all this evil going on, is we going to win? I smile. You know why? We're not going to win. We already won. We just got to realize that we already won. I mean, we got to realize God is the greatest. And once we realize, they don't want you to realize that. They don't want you to believe in yourself. They want you to believe in everything except you. They want you to doubt yourself. They want you to argue, fight, and kill one another. Now, I mean, because that means that you need big government. You need them to step in and be the peacemaker. And if they come in as the peacemaker, they could rule both sides. So there you have it. So in summary, the Dun and Bradstreet, February the 8th, 2019, the investor group brought that up, and it's still on the stock market as D&B, but it's not Dun and Bradstreet. It's really TIG, the investor group, but it's privately held, so they could have 80. It's like it's like a big corporation could own CNN, Disney, chocolate chip cookies if they want. You can have 1,000,000 subdivisions under your corporation if you want. This is what the rich corporations do. All of them do that. You know what I mean? So it confuses a lot of people. So they thinking that they're standing with God, but they really standing with the devil. They really think they fighting against the devil, but they really fighting against God. So the angels come to make sure no mistakes are made. So get your unique entity identifier, or your UEI. Go on the federal government website at sam.gov. That's S as in system, A as in Apple, M as in master.gov. All right. You go in there. It's free. Don't let no companies think you need to have them do it. If you got any questions, whatever, I'll help you for free. Just email me at ministerleaf@gmail.com. Until then, it gets greater later, family. And remember, it's better to have money that you don't need than to need money that you don't have. The struggle continues. Peace. One love.